And then he is a dork. Oh!
When I tan, they call me melanoma. I tan until I'm almost in a coma. Hawaii, Miami, and they never ever use any sunscreen. Sun with me, tan with me, hope you don't mind, I'm a little freckly.
We lie in the sun till we get melanoma. We bake like a bun, you can smell the aroma. Our lights are all on, but there's nobody home. Hey, melanoma!
I spend all day at work planning that when I get off I'll go tanning. I get naked and fake bake it. How much longer is my skin gonna take it? My astrologist and numerologist have to help me find a dermatologist.
We lie in the sun till we get melanoma. We bake like a bun, you can smell the aroma. Our lights are all on, but there's nobody home. Hey, melanoma! We lie in the sun till we get melanoma. We bake like a bun, you can smell the aroma. We got lumps on our skin bigger than the metronoma. Hey, melanoma! We don't care if we get melanoma. We got the best tan from here to Arizona. We're glad we don't have genital condyloma. Hey, melanoma!
Hey, 10:08 at WIOD. Happy Monday to you.
4th down and goal from the 29-yard line. 3 wideouts, right, 1 to the left side. Here's the shotgun. A 4-man rush for the Dolphins, and O'Donnell's going to load it up and just lob it into the corner of the end zone. Keyshawn Johnson caught it. It's a touchdown for the Jets. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Oh, my gosh.
Exactly. So here we are, boys and girls. Yesterday, my first trip in 2 years back to Perpetual Pain Stadium. That's what the PPS stands for. That's going to be my new name for the stadium. Forget about JRS. Forget about Pro Player Stadium. That's what the PP stands for, Perpetual Pain. Is it just because it was in September and it was 100 degrees in the shade and the humidity was 200%? That was one of the most uncomfortable days of my life, one of the most ponderous games. And then I read about it in the paper this morning, and it's like, oh, my God, we kicked their ass. Huh? And I'm looking at Dave Hyde's column here, and 3-0, the run continues. A little play on words there because Lou Alcindor had another big day yesterday, number 33. And I don't get it. I'm wondering what game these people were watching. In fact, Saturday, I watched a little bit of the Michigan-Colorado game, and that was one of the most ponderous, boring games I've ever seen in my life. I flipped over and I catch the end of the East Carolina-West Virginia college game. And now this year, for the first time, they got overtime nationwide in college football, okay? The score is 10-3 Virginia. East Carolina scores a touchdown with 22 seconds left. It's 10-9. So what do? Even a little child knows you kick the extra point, you tie it up, and you hope for the best in overtime. Not East Carolina, baby. They go for the win. And guess what? No good. They lose 10-9. And I thought to myself, I'm watching this. I'm missing something here. Okay, I realized they got to get this game over in time so that ABC can show the nationwide games, Michigan and Colorado. Maybe that's what it's all about. Maybe they didn't want to have overtime because then they would have, screwed up the TV schedule. And then I go to the Dolphin game yesterday, and I mean sweltering. First, we walk in there, and the place is palatial. It's beautiful. They've redone all kinds of stuff. They got the big tent outside with all the food, and they got the picnic tables up there on the by the top floor. And it's great. They got all kinds of new food. Fantastic. It looks sensational. But in terms of being functional, in terms of comfort, you can't complain about the comfort. And I sit on the shady side, and I'm burnt to a crisp today. My forehead looks like a piece of red meat, raw meat, baby. And I don't know from what, because I never got any sun. We sit on the shady side, and my head today looks like a piece of raw liver. So the people on that's one of the reasons we never hear from the Dolphin fans, because the people on the Sun side, they just croak. They just drag their asses out of there. And Wayne turns them into something recyclable. God almighty, what an uncomfortable and talk about ponderous and boring. And I'm sitting in there and I'm thinking, after seeing all the hockey games last year especially, being really super hockey intensive more than ever before, and then sitting there yesterday, and it just dragged and dragged. And that first half until they finally woke up after getting down 14-0 to a girls' team. And Jimmy finally woke their asses up. And first and goal on the 1, and the same old crap again. They can't get an inch. I said, boy, this sure looks familiar. This is the same crap I saw for 4 years in a row. Really ponderous. But, hey, it must have been a great game because the papers are just full of it, and we're 3-0. And we're kicking ass, man. It's dynamite. And talking about people with balls, because I am going to address that. I heard there's a lot of stuff been going around yesterday morning on the program director's show. Isn't that what they call that show? And then Friday afternoon as I was driving home getting some more career instruction from Phil Hendrie and hearing about the fact that what was the word? Scared. Not lazy, just scared. I'm scared to go to New York or Chicago or L.A. or one of the top markets because, basically I'm a bomb and I'm just a local act and I would never make it there and I'm terrified and I'm scared. Okay. However, Fat Rich and I were the only two people out of over 75,000 yesterday with the courage again to sit through the invocation and not to stand until they did the national anthem. Why is it that you people are such sheep? Do you really believe that at a ball game it's the appropriate place for some Getchke to come out dressed up like a Little Red Riding Hood like she was yesterday and saying some stupid prayer? And let's get ready to rumble, Lord, and Daddy's birthday. The Lord is pulling for the Dolphins. Yeah, right. Whatever you say, sweetheart. People are dying. People are starving to death all over the world, and this crazy God of hers, he's up there betting on the Dolphins. And guess what? They didn't cover the spread. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's pissed off again. Probably have another hurricane coming out. He's pissed off. 10:13 at WIOD.
Until we find a suitable replacement for sex, we're doing sports late nights on 610 WIOD. Ron Barr and Sports Byline USA. 10 p.m. tonight on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
Good God Almighty! What a humongous penis. Wow! I want to give you a kiss.
Jesus Christ for extra strength Dexedrine.
When you're getting crucified, the last thing you need is a headache. There's so much pressure. Hanging around with the whole world's sins weighing on your shoulders. And then some gladiator sticks a spear in your side.
Yeah!
Jesus Christ, that hurts. So when this thorny crown feels like a vice around my head, that's when I reach for Dexedrine. Well, I don't reach for it.
Hey! Anybody got any Dexedrine? Hey, Judas! Could you throw a couple into my mouth? Come on, I'm the Savior, for Christ's sake!
Extra strength Dexedrine. Because a headache is a heavy cross to bear.
I want to give you a kiss.
Okay, already. 10:17 at WIOD. By the way, are we going to be able to save the world from Nike or not? I mean, I must be naive. I must be just not very observant. Maybe I'm not an observant Jew, so I must not be an observant person, I guess. Because I noticed starting with the college games on Saturday. Now, aren't these college players supposed to be like amateur athletes? They're not paid, allegedly, and they get into all kinds of trouble if they take like a limo ride or anything like that. They're amateurs, right? But it seems to me that by wearing the Nike emblem on their uniforms that somehow they're like endorsing a commercial product. Aren't they?
Yes.
Exactly. And yet every college game that I watch, they got them on their sleeve, they got them on their helmet, they got them on their
rectum.
They got them everywhere. They got that Nike logo. And then yesterday, so I'm noticing. Now it seems to me, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me the Dolphins and the Jets, neither one of them had like anything. Was I wrong? Maybe my eyesight isn't that good anymore because I looked for it. Because I noticed that the Cowboys had the Nike thing, and most of the other teams, some of them have the starter thing on there, and then a couple of boring teams have got the the Wilson thing on, which you can't even read. But 95% of them have got like Nike, and then they show a shot of one of the assistant coaches for Dallas, or was it Indianapolis, one or the other, yesterday up in the booth. He's got the Nike logo on his pocket of his shirt. Then they show one of the assistant coaches on the sidelines. He's wearing a nylon jacket. It's got the Nike thing on there. I say what we ought to start doing today, immediately if not sooner, is taking all the Nike stuff and either burning it or giving it to Goodwill. Because, the poor schleppers that get their stuff at Goodwill, at least they'll never be on television, we hope. They can't afford to go to a ball game. They're not going to get on TV. But take your Nike stuff and jam it up your
rectum.
I'm serious. I mean, the day is going to come because, in football especially, most of the time you see the players, they're like bent over in a huddle. You see their ass. And trust me, it's not a pretty sight. But the day is going to come that Nike logo will be on each cheek. And I'm not talking about their puss. I'm talking about their
rectum.
That's right. There will be that little Nike deal right across each cheek. including the college players. And I thought we were so fastidious, and I thought the NCAA was so damn righteous about that. Oh, no, you can't be involved with commercial enterprise. These are amateur athletes. Right. Tell me another one, you phony lying bastards. God, save the world from Nike, man. Here's Plantation. Hello.
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I talked to Bugliosi when he was here last month.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is really into this religion. I told, from his book, I told him...
What do you mean he's really into religion?
He's attacking it, I'm saying. It's a big thing in his life.
Yeah. Why not?
I told him his childhood priest was wrong when he said, yeah, God knows the future, but people still have free will. And he said I was right. And he also said I was right when I said most people they're born into their religion. So you're going to hear a lot about him with this stuff.
I would love to know why all these sheep stand up for that invocation at the ball game. There's only two of us, me and Fat Rich, that got the balls to sit there out of 75,000 some odd people during a religious exercise. You go to the track, they don't have a prayer, which you need one there. You go to a hockey game, there's no prayer. You go to a baseball game, a soccer game, any other sporting event in the world. But somehow at a football game, they've decided that football is so integrated with American culture that that people will stand up for anything. If they say, stand up and pinch your rectum, they'll do it. Whatever they tell them, they'll get up there and they'll do it.
I heard the reason they do that because people aren't going to church on Sunday, so they want to have their religion at the game.
Also, in other words, if they get to the game at 1 o'clock, they don't have time to... How long does it take in church before you get saved? How many hours you got to be there?
I don't know. I think people are also afraid of getting something thrown at them. Like, say you're sitting down, you're the only one sitting.
Doesn't bother me.
Well...
I got the balls to... If I'm the only... Fat Rich stands up, I don't give a crap. If I'm the only one in the stadium, I will sit there until they get that thing over with. And when they get the national anthem, I'll stand up because it'll respect for the flag and whatever. That's okay. But a ball game is not a place for a prayer.
You're
for
right.
some Getchke to get up there and start talking mumbo-jumbo. See, the religionist man, they can't keep it to themselves. They cannot keep it to themselves. If you want to believe in little green men with horns or whatever, fine, more power to you. But don't drag me into it. When I'm paying $35 or $40 a game, don't force me to go through some stupid religious exercise.
I want to see.
It's just like when Dolph Van Denny started the wave in the fourth quarter yesterday, and all these morons in the lower bowl, they're waving it, and then all of a sudden they come up to they break the huddle, they come up to the line of scrimmage, they're getting ready to snap the ball, and the people right in front of me, they're waving. I'm thinking, I want to see the game, you idiot. I didn't come to see your arms up in the air.
They didn't do
the game is going on. They're doing the wave.
They didn't do the Macarena, did they?
You shouldn't have said it. That'll be next time.
Okay, one more thing about the hockey. Don't you think it's good that, with America winning this thing, gets more American interest into it? I think it's great for the NHL.
It was good. And they even said that on CBC. It was good for the game. It was a great game. It was a tremendous game.
Very violent. I mean, these guys were really creaming each other.
That's right. It was a sensational game. And Lindros and Kachuk and Footman, I'll tell you, there were some shots going on there. It was sensational. There was no pussies in that game, I'll tell you.
I tell you what, when I think it was Kachuk when he slashed him with the stick.
With two-handed shot, Kachuk, that's when he got tossed out of the game.
It was getting pretty brutal.
Yeah.
I wasn't rooting for...
But how'd you like the shot Lindros gave Kachuk on the back of the neck?
Oh, yeah.
He should have got kicked out for that. But you see, one thing about Lindros, and this is why I respect him, the great players of hockey over the years, most of them have been dirty players. Maurice Richard, Gordie Howe, most of the great players are dirty players. And Ed Lindros, he takes a lot of crap and he gives it right back, and it doesn't faze him one way or the other. He's a hell of a player.
Okay. All right, thanks a lot, Neil.
Okay, have a great day.
Bye.
That was some game, boy. Like I said before, I saw two great sporting events this weekend. Unfortunately, the Dolphin game yesterday doesn't even come close. It almost cured me of football for life. That's how comatose that was yesterday, except for Lou Alcindor. That's what I'm going to call him. I mean, if he can call himself Kareem, I'll call him Lou. Hey, Lou. How you, Lou? And then that Louise Oliver, she had a great interception, too, and a big run back. But other than that, 1023 at WIOD.
News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD.
So I want to apologize to two groups of people yesterday, even though I have nothing to do with the Perpetual Pain Stadium. The people, number one, who sit on the sunny side of the street, on the other side of the stadium from me, I don't know how you do it. How do you get through there without, coming home in a bottle? I mean, it's just burnt to a crisp, and I'm sitting on a shady side. Those people must have melanomas the size of watermelons. And then we leave after the Dolphins scored the touchdown to go ahead 33-14. If you figure with 10.5 minutes left, especially as bad as the Jets are, they had no running game. They looked really pathetic. The game is over. It's a good time to beat the crowd, right? I have no apologies for leaving with 10 minutes left with your head by 19 points. So now we leave, okay? And they have the big announcement on there. Hey, if you're leaving on the turnpike going northbound for an hour, up to an hour after the game, the turnpike tolls have been waived. Just zip on through there, okay? Guess what? When you leave out of there and you make the left turn and you go to make another left, the first block there to get onto the northbound turnpike, it's blocked off. Completely blocked off. So Fat Rich makes a U-turn. And I says to the cop, how do you get to the turnpike? He says, oh, yeah, go up to 27th Avenue, University Drive. You got to go up that way, up by the track. So we go up, and as we start going up, this very, very militant black Metro cop is, stopping traffic, including us. We're first in line because people are crossing the street. So Rich starts hitting the brake and slowing down. And now the cop gets very agitated because he didn't slam on the brake. We're nowhere near the intersection. And he comes over like, you better stop, white boy. Well, I mean, what was his story? And then finally, when the pedestrians have stopped the crossing, then he motions us to go on, but he's standing in front of the car. Now, if Rich would have had any brains, he would have just floored it and hit the son of a bitch, because he had a real hostile, militant attitude, baby, like nasty and hostile. Now we get up to the next corner, which is the light, 27th Ave, University Drive. Guess what? They got that blocked off. And I roll down the window. I says to the cop, how are we going to get to the turnpike? Oh, you got to go up to 57th Avenue, Red Road. This is 27th. You got to go another 30 blocks. Do you know how far it is from the stadium to Red Road? They send you on a merry ride to the Hershey, and this is 10 minutes before the game is over. So how you people who stayed there right till the end, how you got out of there, maybe they never did get home. Maybe they're like the guy on the MTA. You know, will he ever return? He's still riding on there for the rest of his life. Maybe they never did get home. Maybe they're still out there trying to get out of the traffic jam. You go all the way to Red Road, 57th Avenue, you get on the turnpike, and, of course, now you have to pay the toll. So the turnpike toll is free going north, except guess what? You can't get on it. Thanks, Wayne. Fantastic, baby. Thank you so much. Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing? I'm one of those guys that sits in the sun.
Yeah.
At the stadium.
Yeah. Do you have how many melanomas have you got?
No, to be honest with you, yesterday wasn't so bad. The Patriot game was worse. At least yesterday we had some cloud cover over.
Yeah, there were some clouds. That's why I don't understand how I have, like, my whole forehead is red as a beet, and I wasn't on the sun side.
Oh, well, I sit in the upper deck of the end zone.
In the upper deck?
In 428, yeah.
Beautiful.
No, actually, it's kind of fun. I've had season tickets up there for last year and this year.
Yeah.
And there's a guy that sits about 2 sections over. A fat, like a Cuban-looking guy, right?
A fat Cuban, yeah.
And when they play music during timeouts and all that, he gets up and he dances and he takes off his shirt and he's about 240.
Oh, gross.
Oh, that's nothing. So, we always watch him, and, the people around him applaud him and stuff like that. He's just having a good time. So yesterday, like on the corner of the end zone, there was another fat guy out there, and he was dancing. So, like, they're having, like, a dance contest.
Oh, yeah, dance-off.
Exactly. So, that other guy starts putting his foot on the railing, and he's about 260 himself without no shirt, and his tight shorts on. And he starts dancing.
Yeah.
He puts his foot on the railing, starts thrusting his hips, and then starts coming down. Then some girl comes down, starts dancing with him, and they're like bumping and grinding right there on the steps of the stadium and all that. And then he like turns around and points at the guy and then shoots a mooner at him right there in front of everybody.
Beautiful.
And he says,
I want to give you a kiss.
Yeah, he showed his big fat ass in front of everybody. Guy
nice.
was like 260.
I sure hope he had a Nike logo on each cheek.
Oh, another thing
right.
about that Nike logo, the Dolphins don't have Nike. What they have is Wilson.
Oh, that's why you can't see it. They got that W on there. You can't even see the Wilson thing. They're going to have to do something with that. They're not getting their money's worth.
It's a gold,
can't see it.
It's a gold W.
Yeah, can't see it.
On the side of the pan. But, yeah, in college football, everybody has the Nike logo.
Isn't that great? All those amateur athletes are out there promoting Nike, but, of course, they're amateurs and they're not involved with the commercial enterprise.
Well, it's not so much them. It's the school. That's what brings in the money.
Right, exactly.
It's all money.
Right.
But, yeah, that's what it is. I see all the college teams have it now. They have the Nike emblem on their jersey.
I'm gonna get me an Uzi, and I'm gonna start going around. Anybody I see with a Nike cap, a shirt, any Nike logo, I'm just gonna blow their ass away.
Oh, I don't have to worry. I wear Reebok.
No, all right. Now you're talking.
Okay,
pal.
Can I call somebody a douchebag?
Yeah.
Caca-doodoo.
Okay, we have all the date lines open. We're off to a rousing start this morning on the day after a big Dolphin win. And then, of course, just when I'm ready to be disgusted and fed up with football after just an insufferable 4 hours of schwitzing and the dying over there and boredom and all these injuries. And every timeout turns into like a 5-minute timeout. It was so slow and ponderous. And I think, God, I never realized how boring football was. And I went home and watched the last quarter of the Dallas. Then you go home and you watch two really talented teams, and, man, that was right down to the last field goal and hits the crossbar from 56 yards away by Bonyul, hits the right in the middle, but hits the front of the crossbar and bounces away. What a difference, huh? But, hey, I'm not going to pee on your parade. Dave Hyde says it was great, and who am I to argue with him? 751 WIOD in Dade. We got 3 open lines there. We got 2 in Broward, 5249463. Nobody, I guess, watched the hockey game on Saturday night with a great World Cup game. Incredible, tremendous. I mean, it was just... And I would have played that one goal there that I got on cassette, but evidently our cassette deck must be for the USA. Because it just like it played okay at home, it played fine in the car, but the equipment here... Or maybe just they're taking the equipment apart. That could be it. 1034 at WIOD over.
The opinions expressed by the host, guest, or callers on WIOD are not necessarily those of the station or its sponsors. All WIOD programs are copyright 1996 by WIOD Incorporated. No tape recordings or transcripts may be created or distributed without prior written consent of WIOD Incorporated.
I want to give you a kiss.
Okay, 1037 at WIOD. So then at halftime, Defoe is going down whatever he's talking about. And they're having their usual halftime contest and then a marching band, U of M. And then he says, ladies and gentlemen, here's the voice that you're so familiar with, you've come to know and love, and for years was the sideline voice of the Dolphins, Hendrie Barrow. And I'm listening to see if there's like any recognition. Is Henry's relatives applauding it? Nothing. And then Hendrie comes on and says...
I have just tasted your snapper.
No, seriously, he comes on and... totally unintelligible. Hendrie, I know you're listening right now. You're a great guy. We miss you, etc., and so on. But we couldn't understand a word you were saying. Maybe that was the intention. Here's a mobile in Miami. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Great.
Good. Yes, I did enjoy that game to no end, the hockey game to no end, but I got a question for you.
What a sensation. And I'm telling you, Mike Richter, man, his performance was indescribable.
He's unreal.
Unbelievable.
He lets the slimy ones go in sometimes, which you don't understand, but, I mean, he just...
Didn't I tell you that? I told you, even when he plays at his best, he lets in a greasy goal, and the same thing with that goal that temporarily put Canada ahead there, that one by...
Lindros?
No, that wasn't a greasy goal. The one there that made it 2-1, the one by Adam Foote from the blue line, that just was a looper over his shoulder, which I don't think he ever saw, and went over his shoulder into the net.
Never saw it coming.
No. But what a game he played, though.
Did you watch from the beginning when they were doing the anthems?
Of course.
What was this Grizzly Adams guy saying when they came on with Canada's anthem?
Yeah.
He started off with "Oh Canada."
He was doing French. It was in Montreal. What do you expect? Parlez-vous frog?
Man, that guy you couldn't even understand where one word started.
Because he was singing in frog the first 2/3 of the thing. If they were in Toronto, they wouldn't have done that. They don't sing no frog in Toronto, eh? That's why these morons out there that were calling Rick and said they don't know what Canadians are all about. They don't know the difference between a frog and a Canuck. They know nothing about it. Because they're the same parochial little people that had never been more than 3 blocks from their house.
But no, I really enjoyed. I watched the way Cherry was explaining how Lemieux on that one goal that Leach got.
Oh.
They're saying at the beginning or right at
First of all, wait a minute. Just before that happened, Claude Lemieux's got a 2-on-1 break for Canada. Okay, they were ahead 2-1. They could have put the game away, and he fans on a shot and he rolls it right to Richter, who covers it up. Then on the very next play, the puck goes into his end and he rolls it around on the boards right to Brian Leach.
Where he's supposed to be.
Right.
That's where he was supposed.
And I saw it coming, man. You could smell it. He handed it right to Leach, and they had just been saying the last guy you want to be handling the puck at this stage of the game is Brian Leach. And sure enough, he takes a wicked shot, and Hull gets the stick and tips it in there, and there we go. And U.S. scores 4 goals in 3.5 minutes.
That was incredible.
Unbelievable.
That was totally incredible.
Yep.
Well,
what a game.
Good luck to us. And it's like, it's the all-star game with defense, like they said. It really is.
No, it's the all-star game with hitting. Forget about defense. With hitting. There's no hitting in the all-star game. Nobody's going to get injured in the all-star game, which is why all-star games always suck.
Right.
But, man, these guys were putting it out. There was blood on the line in that game. It was dynamite.
It was great. Yep. All righty, Neil. You take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Back at you. And the Panthers started last night. They lost 3-2 in overtime to Washington. Those exhibition games mean nothing. They give a chance to see all the kids play. And then I guess the Bees are going to play some tonight in their second game. But it's not far off now, baby. You can smell it. It's in the air. They had like 10 or 12,000 people at the Panther, whatever they call that, the Hockey Fest on Saturday, which nobody bothered to remind us about. So we could have probably had another 5,000 people out there. But nobody reminded us, and I didn't even know about it till I read it in the paper Saturday morning. I said, hey, that's great, but who knows? Here's Pompano. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I flew up to upstate New York Friday, Saturday afternoon, drove up to Montreal, and I went to the game.
Did you?
Frogs are the most unintelligible, unknowledgeable, whiny. Just because they invented the game of hockey, they think it's their God-given right to win a hockey game. They are the biggest assholes that ever walked the planet.
Yeah.
And I had a blast.
Great.
Great game.
It was a great game.
The excitement there was I've been to a lot of things, and the excitement at that game was.
Well, I'm going to tell you one thing that really pissed me off. Speaking of the Frogs in Montreal, and that is, at the beginning of the game when they sang the U.S. national anthem they were booing. I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm going to tell you one thing. If that game would have been in Toronto, you might have heard one or two assholes booing, or you wouldn't have even heard them. But in Montreal, see, that's the difference between real Canadians and those Frogs, which is why if they were smart, they would let them secede and get them out of the country.
Exactly. And half of them were sitting down. Where I was sitting, they were all sitting down. Wouldn't even stand up for it.
Yep.
Oh, boy.
Kill the Frogs, baby.
I went ballistic when we... Oh, you should have seen me. It was great. Just awesome. Frogs are assholes.
Amen. Okay, but how does he really feel? Okay, we have an open line in Dade, 751. So this afternoon at 2, Phil is going to give me some more career advice on here, which I'm taking notes on this every day because, God, if anybody needs it, because I'm scared, man. I'm terrified. Make no mistake. I finally sat all weekend long. I kept thinking about Phil's comments at about 2:15 on Friday. I'm just terrified. I'm petrified. I wish I had the guts that he's got to get up and make the big career move. Here's Pompano on the purple line. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
The end of that hockey game the other night?
Yeah.
The great one was right on the doorstep, but he couldn't put it home?
Yep.
Did you see that one?
Yes, I did. Right before they got the empty net goal.
Yeah, and then they came back the other way?
Well, the excuse is that the great one had a pulled groin. He's been pulling it or something, and he had some other problem. He was, like, under the weather. In the second game, in that game on Saturday, the great one stunk the joint out. He was pretty weak.
Right. Another thing I want to touch on is the parking situation at Joe or pro player.
I guess I'm the only one that had the problem, man. I would have thought these phones would be jammed with people pissed off about the way they won't let you get out of that joint.
No, I used to work there with the parking lot when the Marlins used to have crowds, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't let you come out and make that left. You have to either go to Ives Dairy.
But wait a minute. Let me ask you this. Then how in hell are you supposed to get to the turnpike from that internal road? That's the whole deal. It's easy to get in there. You come right in there. They've even got a separate entrance now if you got the purple pass or whichever, the orange pass. But how the hell are you supposed to get out of there?
Well, what they do, they funnel everybody in the parking lot. You have to stay in the lot, and you have to stay all the way to the east end in the lot. You can't leave the lot. You have to follow.
It would take you from where we park over there by gate F.
Right.
And I think I know what that stands for now.
Uh-huh.
From there, it would have taken us an hour just to get over on the other side. As it is, it took 10 minutes to get out of there because they had some pork bitch in there directing traffic with an attitude.
So I yelled at the guy, what's going on? And he told me that the reason why they funnel all the people in one lane is because that's Wayne's lane.
Wayne's lane, Wayne's lane.
That's what he told me.
They can stick it up Wayne's...
Rectum.
One more thing.
Seriously, I have never seen anything in my life like the scene. And keep in mind, this is with 10 minutes left. There may be a couple thousand of us leaving the stadium at that point, feeling the game is wrapped up, everything's under control, and you can't get out of the joint. And I've been coming here for years, okay, for like 5 or 6 years, and every year it gets worse. Every year they make it more impossible to get out of there.
Did you come in on the turnpike?
Sure, piece of cake.
Did you notice, like, all the signs and everything they put up, purple, green?
Right, it's great.
Yeah, and then you figure, no problem getting out, and then you try to leave, and it just ain't going to happen.
Oh, yeah, you can't get out the same way. In fact, when we came in, they had one of the parking kids doing the Macarena, and he's, like, pointing in all 6 directions at the same time, which is a little disconcerting, but it's a piece of cake getting in. You just can't get out.
In closing, your buddy Rima was on QAM Saturday. They had him on during the Hockey Fest.
Yeah.
Didn't he tell you that he wasn't going to do anything for them anymore?
What do I care what he does? He's supposed to stop by here today with my hockey tickets. So don't piss him off until at least I get my tickets.
All right.
Okay, pal.
I'm glad hockey.
Have a great day. It's everybody's not going to do this, not going to do that. We all have to survive. We all do whatever we have to do, just like, Phil's going to go to L.A. and hit the big time, and we're just going to, fumble our way along here, even though some of us don't have any guts. So anyway, PPS, baby, Perpetual Pain Stadium. Get that Nike logo, get you about a 20 or 30 pack, and you're all set to go. But it's just me. It's just grumbling old Neil again. Everybody else was very comfortable, had a great time, no problems with the parking. It's just Neil. He's just down there belly aching again. And I know you're full of crap because I know that when you... I can't even begin to imagine. I can't imagine what it must have been like leaving at the end of that game yesterday, when there were probably like 40,000 people still trying to get out. But hey, if that's what you enjoy, if that's like the way you like spending your Sunday, and then, of course, if that's the case, then you did miss the end of the Colts-Dallas game, which was the game of the day. That was a real football game. Those were real men. And isn't it a shame that Jerry Jones was down there on the field at the sideline right at the end of the game when they blew it, when they lost the game? What a bad break that was, huh, you asshole? 1046 at WIOD.
When we say Dolphins on radio, we mean Semper and Mad Dog.
He's in for a touchdown! It's a score by the Dolphins! All right!
Turn down the TV sound and crank up the Dolphins on the only radio station you remember when the Dolphins play. News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD.
Well, all right, sports fans. I want to give you a kiss.
Okay, 1050 at WIOD. Kiss this, Mandich. We have an open line on the purple line, pound IOD. I'm sitting here fried like a lobster, and I still can't figure out why. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
You know nothing about football, asshole.
Okay, and you know nothing about phone calls, asshole, because it's the same old tired deal every single day. Every day. Yeah, I know nothing about football. I know an exciting game when I see one, okay? And what I saw here yesterday, you could have taken a nap during most of that game. Pathetic. Yeah, Zach Thomas, I told you he was a genius. That kid's great. He's a player. And Lou Alcindor, he played great. And Danny Boy stunk in the first half, but as usual made a nice comeback. And who else? And Louise Oliver, she played damn well. Terrell Buckley started out looking pretty good, then got burned real bad, the same with Gene Atkins. And that's it. I know who was on top of it and who was on the bottom of it. And I know that Neil O'Donnell stinks the joint out, and yet we still got burned badly over and over again. But anyway, what do I know? Here's Miami Beach. Hello.
Morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I was coming back from New York yesterday, and there was a bunch of old geriatric yintas coming from New York. Went to the Rutgers game.
Yeah.
Wearing UM clothes, UM tennis shoes, a bunch of fat pigs, and I just want to call them all a bunch of douchebags.
Yeah. Open line in Dade, 751. One in the green, purple line, whatever line color that is, at 1-800-CRAP. At pound IOD, Mobile One Cell, AT&T Wireless, pound IOD. Here's Miami. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I saw the game Saturday. Great game. Was rooting for the USA, and you're right. Richter played a whale of a game.
Oh my God, it was unbelievable. It's like he had some kind of a invisible shield on the goal.
And it's kind of, I have to sheepishly admit that thanks to a couple of Canucks, the USA did win.
Yeah, a couple of ringers, Brett Hull, Adam Deadmarsh.
Yeah, guys who were playing a heck of a game. But it like the New York Times said, it was a physical game. Did you see
no kidding.
Did you see what Kachuk did to, was it Adam Foote?
Yeah.
Clubbed him. I mean...
And got his ass kicked out of the game.
Yeah, I saw that. I mean, the referees had to stop the game because it was getting out of hand. I mean, Lindros was clubbing people. Everybody was
To be honest with you, Lindros should have got kicked out of the game. He should have got a 5-minute and game misconduct after he did the number on the back of Kachuk's neck. Do you see how they had the ice pack? He almost knocked his head off.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Oh, and yesterday, on that hockey fest they had up in Fort Lauderdale,
yeah,
the other station...
I thought that was Saturday.
Oh, yeah, Saturday. I'm sorry.
QAM, not the other station. We're not pussies over here. We give call letters. QAM, they were there. I heard about 2 minutes of that in the car.
Right. Did you hear what Jeff Rimmer said about the Rangers?
No.
They asked him, one of the hockey geniuses over there asked him, what the Rangers' chances were. He said, well, they either go all the way or they don't make the playoffs. I'm like, what?
That's covering your ass. That's
I mean, what kind of insight is that?
Either they're going to go, they're not going to score a goal all season, or they're going to win a Stanley Cup. That's covering all the full spectrum there.
Yeah, they're going to need Richter, believe me.
Richter's not going to play like that all season long. He just was hotter than a pistol, and he was invincible. He was unbelievable.
It was a heck of a game, though. And you're right, that Dallas-Indianapolis game.
Oh, now that was a football game, man. And I don't know what's with these people. It's the same old stuff. I don't know why I ever expected to change. We won. A win is a win. We'll take it. We're 3-0 and all that stuff. But if anybody really believes that the Dolphins played a good game yesterday, I mean, it was a struggle against a horrendous team. The Jets are a joke. Even my grandma could run better than them. They have no running attack, and yet their receivers are open, constantly just burning our secondary. I just don't get it. And when we beginning of the game, we sacked O'Donnell. I thought, hey, we got a pass rush this year. And then a couple of times later, we almost got to him. We hurried the throw. We broke up the play. But generally speaking, man, he had too much time again. No pass rush. Same old stuff.
And Keyshawn
first and goal on Keyshawn Johnson. Boy, this is a guy's a hell of a player.
And he caught that pass. He didn't have to jump. He just reached his arm out and he caught it.
Yeah.
And there's T-Buck trying to jump up and swat it away, but he's...
Terrell Buckley comes up to his pupik. This guy is 6'6", and here's poor Terrell Buckley trying to cover me. He comes up to his waist.
Oh, man, I tell you. And you're right.
But, hey, I guess I'm wrong. I guess it must have been a sensational game. I'm reading the paper here, just 55 pages with Dave Hyde's big column here, and we ran it down their throats, and we did against the girls' team.
Yeah, it was. The Jets are a
And then you go home and you watch the Colts and the Cowboys, man. That was football. That was scintillating. That kept you on the edge of your seat.
It was a heck of a game.
Yep.
Anything to see Jerry Jones annoyed.
Oh. When I'm telling you, I see the Cowboys lose, I get sexual excitement. That's how much, seriously, that's how much I hate that whole organization, from Aikman to Michael Irvin to Emmitt Smith and Jerry Jones and Barry Swisher. I hate every single one of them like poison. To me, what they basically represent is everything bad about U of M, the Hurricanes. That's what they represent.
And they both wear the Nike logo.
All right.
All right.
Have a great day.
You too.
Yeah, save the world from Nike, baby.
Oh!
It's everywhere, that little thing. Save the world from that little thing. God. And I guess I'm the only one that just finds it very difficult to, on the one hand, of course, hypocrisy is something that we love, we admire it. The thing about, it's amateur athletics, college football, there's no big money in that. Right. That's why there was the big thing in the newspaper about how the Hurricanes not only was on against Rutgers in that girls' game on ESPN, but they got all these other games that they're going to get on against their pathetic opponents. This year they're playing FSU and a bunch of girls' teams, and that's it. So what's the big deal with all these college football games, except, of course, it's another vehicle to gamble on. If you take the gambling away from football, there is no more football. We're at the game yesterday, and Fat Rich keeps reaching in his pocket. He's got a couple of sheets of paper in there, and I'm wondering, what is he looking at? So I kind of peek over his gigantic shoulder, and I see Arizona against New England. I see he's got the list of all his picks. Then he reached into his nostrils. Oh, no more picks, please. Here's Hollywood. Hello.
Good morning, Neil.
Yes, sir.
I was at that hockey fest on Saturday.
Yeah, how was it?
It's excellent. It's excellent. The only thing is I went to go get an autograph from Wayne. I don't know why I did this, but for my...
What a smart move that was.
He didn't do it. He wanted pictures taken with people, but he refused to do autographs.
Yeah.
And you're wrong, I hate to say it, but I'm in the one that's in trouble here. TCI of North Broward does not have Sports Channel.
Well, no, I'm not wrong.
I understand.
Wait a minute.
I was going to get it.
Wait a minute. Hold on. The Ream Man came back from his adventures in PEI over the weekend, and he called me to tell me that everybody else is going to have Sports Channel except TCI, and they're having a bitch of a time with TCI because they have that incestuous relationship. They own Sunshine, or they're part owner of Sunshine, and as a result, they're giving them a hard time.
Right, so they had a guy there with the booth taking everybody's name and stuff if you want to protest and stuff, but I don't know how it's going to do it, but I guess I got to go to a bar now to see the games.
And you talk about tying everything up at the game yesterday. Were you at the Dolly? Well, I guess.
Yeah, I'm a season ticket holder.
Okay. So did you notice on the big board up there that Sports Channel must have had 7,000 ads? They got the Jimmy Johnson show. They got the Danny Marino show. They got every show that's ever been. They're all going to be on Sports Channel.
And we don't have
Which, by the way, speaking of Sports Channel, tomorrow night they got an hour special at 8 o'clock on the Panthers, the pregame, the preview of the season. Huh?
It's not going to do me.
Well, you go to a bar and see it.
That's what I'm going to have to do.
Go over there to Rosie Paymont's and get plowed.
I'm the one who told you that I pay $56 for that, for the cable, for TCI. And I don't get half of the stuff that most people get. So
yeah.
That's what I... But
and you can't get a small dish?
That's what they're forcing us to do, and I guess I'm going to have to go to that Prime Star or something. That one from Radio Shack where you pay for...
Why do you want Prime Star?
Because I'm in an apartment.
Oh.
So you can have it permanently drilled through the wall of the porch for this thing to go through your wall for the wiring and stuff. So I guess Prime Star would be the only way to do it.
Anything is better than cable, man.
That's what I say.
Just like yesterday, I go home and I don't have to worry about his Channel 6 carrying this. You got the football package, the NFL Sunday package there. You turn on the dish, and there's every game right next to each other, including that Indianapolis Cowboys game.
Is that part of Prime Star or no?
Prime Star is a scam put on by the cable companies, okay? When you use Prime Star, that's a 3.5-foot dish. It's a whole separate deal. But at least Prime Star, I guess, gives you, I don't know. I assume they give you the football and all the other stuff.
3.5-foot dish?
Right.
Oh, you can't put that in an apartment complex then.
I don't know how that. I have no idea how that works.
Oh,
I thought you just got through telling me that you can.
I thought it was an 18-inch dish.
No, that's the DSS. That's the other dish. Prime Star is operated by the cable people.
Well, that kills that too.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm also
so why can't you get the 18-inch dish?
I guess if I have to get approval from the apartment complex.
Yeah, screw the apartment complex. Get with it. Stop being such a pussy.
Well, I'm also hurting like you are. My thighs are like burned as can be, so it's hurting right now.
I don't understand. I'm telling you. You know, at the stadium there are basically two sides. There's the sunny side and there's the shade side. And one of the great things about my seats, not only being right on a 50, but it's the shade side.
Well, I'm in 107, so it's good at the 4 o'clock game because at 5 o'clock it goes behind the west.
But, I mean, I've been going to games there for like 5-6 years now, except for last season, and I've never had this. And I come home yesterday, and I'm like burned to a crisp. My head is like a crimson red.
I went home and I watched the Dallas game, but then I crashed right after that one.
Yeah.
So I'm like kind of fried from the sun.
Okay, well, I got this good melanoma doctor here. We can do a package deal.
Thanks, Neil.
Okay, pal.
Bye.
Have a great day. 2 open lines in Dade, 751 WIOD. We have one in Broward, 524. After that spectacular victory yesterday, after the World Cup on Saturday, as usual, this crowd is out of control.
We may irritate you, but we won't raise your taxes. WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio. 610 WIOD.
This station stands for nothing.
Heaven, you stink to high heaven. You smell just like a word I won't repeat. And the sidewalk melts when you walk down the street. 'Cause you've got funky, smelly, stinky feet. The flowers, you kill the flowers. When you walk through a garden filled with peas,
I want to give you a kiss.
And in bed you burn a hole right through the sheets. 'Cause you've got funky, smelly, stinky feet. Can't you see the watery eyes around you? The flies around you. Everything dies around you. Oh, heaven, you stink to high heaven. You smell just like a word I won't repeat. And the sidewalk melts when you walk down the street. 'Cause you've got funky, smelly, stinky feet.
Amen. 11:06 at WIOD. Happy Monday. Okay, the Dolphins are 3-0. And we really kicked ass yesterday, didn't we? I guess so. I guess that must have been scintillating, man. To me, it was one of the most ponderous events of my entire life. It was just like sitting in a sweat box and enduring. And then like every other play, there was another injury. And there's somebody writhing in pain on the field. And, of course, that immediately means that there's going to be like another delay for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. And you're sitting there schwitzing your brains out thinking, oh, please, get up to the line of scrimmage, snap the ball, do something. Let's get that clock moving here already, okay? And if there's anybody, and I don't care what you say, I mean, yes, the Colt-Dallas game, that was like a once-in-a-lifetime. There are not too many games in quite like that, once in a blue moon. But if anybody's going to compare the excitement in a football game with hockey, man, you are in a dream world. There's no comparison. And then the crowd there. You know, I've been wondering this. I mean, I see a lot of new faces. There was the school teacher. She don't sit by us, but she came by to say, oh, you're not still on that terrible diet, are you? Yeah, Nancy, we're still sometimes on that diet, except when we're eating ice cream, some of us. But she was there, and a few of the people that sit right in front of us, who we recognize and know and are okay, they're decent people. But other than that, a lot of different faces there, but still ugly. And still just, I don't know, you look around in that stadium and you wonder, who are these people? And they ran a couple of spots, you know, on the big board. They had a couple of IOD spots. And what they've done. And by the way, Renee, you were on there again yesterday, you and your former girlfriend that you're back doing again or whatever's going on this week. But they, pieced together, they edited some of the old footage from that TV spot, which I guess they're going to milk until it's, dry as a bone. And they had one spot that was kind of generic, and I was standing there, mumbling, and the words and the lips were moving, but it wasn't kind of too synchronized. And then there was another one for Neil Rogers from 10 to 2, which was really great, except what's it all about? That was on there, and there was obviously no recognition of that. So and that's probably one of the reasons I shouldn't waste my time talking about the Dolphin games. I don't think those people even listen to this radio station, except for the game. I think basically that's it. Seriously, I don't think there's, any great benefit there, because I don't think that's our crowd. The hockey game, different story. Go to a hockey game, there's all our people there, 8 billion of them, all IOD people. Here's a mobile in Hollywood. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, good morning. Frequent
Morning.
listener, occasional caller.
Yes.
And the TCI call that you had just before the news break, I have another TCI story. I am a subscriber and have been for many years. I pay my $40 a month like everyone else, but in the past, TCI has given you an extra month's service. If you paid a year's subscription, you got 1 month for free. That's something else that they've done away with in 1996.
Well, we all know TCI sucks. We know that.
Boy, I can't believe it. And we have no recourse. They get $500 a year, and you get nothing.
$500 a year for what?
Well, if you figure it out, $40 a month.
Are you in an apartment?
No, I'm in a home, and I guess I should get a small dish.
Come on, pal. Get with the program. Don't be a prisoner of TCI.
Well, it's not that
What
easy
are you
to
waiting
get
for?
with the program.
Huh?
It's not as easy to get with the program. You know, you don't want to make the move. You're a little sheepish, and at least
Let me tell you something. I saw ads in the paper this weekend. The small dish for $298. They give you coupons for $200 worth of free programming. I mean, they're practically giving it to you now. How can you say no?
Okay,
How can you sit there? No, wait a minute. But seriously, how can you be calling me and belly aching when you know you're getting screwed and you're giving them $500 a year for whatever crap they want to put on your cable, and that's it.
You're right.
You can't be a prisoner forever. Why don't you free yourself, man?
Okay, don't beat me up for it. I'm trying to be a good guy.
But what do you mean a good guy? To be a schmuck is what you're trying to be, not a good guy. You're being a schmuck. Go out there and tell them screw off. Tell them goodbye, TCI.
Okay.
Okay, do it.
Bye.
Get out of here. Oh, my God, you got to jumpstart these bastards. You got to give them a little kick in the pantaloonies and say, hey, be a man for once in your life. We have all the date lines wide open there. Boy, this is a kick in the teeth to me. I think I'm not going to any more Dolphin games. I'm not going to talk about them. I tried. I mean, I'm glad we won. I was rooting for us heavy duty. I didn't really enjoy the game all that much because I thought it was very, very ponderous and very suspect against the girls' team. Again, I mean, any team that's coached by Rich Kotite that gives you a run for your money. And I'm so sick and tired of hearing, the Jets always give us a tough time. That's bullcrap. Maybe up in the Meadowlands they usually give us a pretty good run for the money. But when you're playing a team that's that short on talent, that's that bad. They got Keyshawn Johnson, and that's it. And Neil O'Donnell, man, you talk about suspect. You talk about a guy that's just a ringer. Give me a break. Here's Boca. Hello.
Hey, Phil. Sorry,
Rick.
I got a guy named Phil sitting right next to me.
Rick. Suds.
Suds, hey, what's going on, man?
Yeah.
Hey, I got a question for you. I'm watching don't take this the wrong way, don't hang up on me. But, I'm starting to believe that people that are gay, like yourself, you're gay just because you are, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm watching a Real World on MTV, and, they always have, somebody gay living in the house. And this guy, it seems like the guys that are really feminine about it have, an attention problem.
They have a what?
They just need attention.
So in other words, you think they're acting effeminate intentionally? Is that it?
Right, because you're normal. I mean, you're just like anybody else.
Almost like a real person. I hate to break the news to you, pal, but I know some effeminate people who are as straight as you are.
And they're just like that?
They're just like that. It's not like you wake up one day and say, I think I'm going to act like this, I'm going to talk like this. I used to think that, too. Because I've always, all my life as a gay person, been embarrassed by the stereotype, by the real mincing queens. But nobody makes an effort to be like that. They're not even aware of the fact that they are like that. They just are. That's just them. When I was at Michigan State, there was a kid in our dormitory who was the most feminine-looking and acting person I've ever seen in my life. This guy was getting more chicks than all the other guys. It was unbelievable. He was getting laid more than Kathy Willits.
Well, I've heard of guys just acting feminine because they can't get the women that way, and a lot of guys don't know that.
Huh?
They'll act queer for Quim.
Yeah. Queer for Quim. That's a new movement, as a matter of fact. Queer for Quim.
Okay, I just had to ask.
Or is
man.
it queer for trim?
Either one.
Butch up, pal. Have a great day.
See ya.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't lose any sleep over it. Hey, listen, Troy Aikman, he acts pretty macho to me. In fact, he's got the... Did you see he had the Nike emblem on his...
Rectum.
I saw it. That's what Manwich said. He saw it. Open line in Dade, 751-9463, 751-GAY. Oh, man, am I gay. I'm Philly and gay. But you're not like a real feminine... Well, I'll put on the skirt and let's see if I can do it, okay? I'll talk like this all day. But, hey, I'm going to butch up. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to lose my inhibitions, my fear of the major markets. I'm going to go out there and get syndicated. I'm going to listen to what Phil Hendrie says, and I'm going to because I know all my life I've been waiting for some professional advice and guidance of somebody who's really made it big, somebody who's really gone to the top, somebody who's really got my best interest at heart. And by the way, if you really want to know the inside story about what's going on here, why Phil is going to L.A., why we got these changes coming, I'll call up Steve Nichols some Sunday morning, and he'll make some good stuff up for you. It's 11:14 at WIOD.
You know, we only have 9 more morning shows left.
Whoa, my head is spinning.
And now that we only have 9, we're starting to get mail as to what people would like to see on the morning show.
Oh, really?
Here's one now. Well, look at that. We'd only like to see 8 more morning shows.
Rick and Suds, 6 to 10 a.m., 2 to 6 p.m., 10 a.m. till 2 p.m., 8 p.m. till midnight on News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio, 610 WIOD.
I want to give you a kiss.
11:17 at WIOD. George says that he's shocked that I haven't done a eulogy so far for Six-Pack Shakur. And what is there to say? But if it'll make you feel better, I mean, it's a big surprise that a guy who was heavily into gangs and all the crap and the rap that he was, that he should get off. But hey.
When I was little, I was a skinny little punk. They wouldn't let me play basketball. The gangs used to push me around. Even the hoes beat the crap out of me. But then I started drinking milk. And I kept on drinking. And I kept on drinking.
And I kept on drinking. And now I'm a 6'5", 285-pound angry motherfucker. And I'm gonna put some serious hurt on everybody who ever dissed me. You with me, you go home in a body bag, cause I'm a natural-born, milk-drinking killer.
Milk. It does a body good.
I find it hard to believe that Six-Pack is no longer with us, but we'll have to make do, okay? It's and you got to be into some really bad crap when you get off in Vegas, too. 11:18 at WIOD. The Purple Line is waiting on you. Pick it up and give it a shot. Pound it. Pound IOD for Mobile One Cell, AT&T Wireless, and everybody else that's got a portable one and a phone, too. Here's Coral Springs. Hello.
Yeah, I know you're not supposed to call twice in a day, but it is a hockey call.
What, you called me or Rick?
No, you.
Open line in Broward, 524-9463. Been on an hour and 15 minutes, and this guy is calling for sloppy seconds, okay? Forget it, man. It is a hockey call, so I'm calling a second time. Get out of here. Go get sticked in the head by Eric Lindros. Go get out of my puss. Oh, speaking of Eric Lindros, let's play. So anyway, let's build up to it. Richter is making all these great saves. The Montreal fans, all these frenzied Canadian fans are frustrated. They had 22 shots in the second period alone. They are bombarding Richter with everything but the kitchen sink. They got breakaways. They got 2-on-1s. They got everything. And then finally, after, 39 minutes and 54 and a half seconds, finally, it was like an eruption. Can we hear it or not? Are we going to hear it? Oh, we're not going to hear it.
Just about killing the period. Coffey knows that, and he'll have to turn on the Jets, which he can do. 15 seconds left in the period. Up they come, Big Lindros. Over the line. The pass. 10 seconds. Coffey. The shot. Blocked. Number one. Score. Lindros gets the goal.
Oh! They went ballistic. Okay, kill those frogs. They went nuts. That was really the, And then, of course, in the last 3 minutes and 18 seconds, the Americans stuck it in there 4 times. How do you like that? Even Kathy Willett's never seen action like that. They stuck it in there 4 times in 3 minutes and 18 seconds. Even Peter North never could lay that to fame. You know what I'm saying?
Squirt.
Here's Fort Lauderdale. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
That was an absolutely
great game, one of the greatest games I've ever seen.
Boy, that was like, I mean, just right on the edge of your seat and the frustration level. And finally they scored, and then they took the lead, and you just had the feeling they had it in the bag, they had it locked up, and then the U.S. team just went nuts.
It was outstanding.
Yeah.
I know that the U.S. scored the first goal, right?
Right.
And then from that point on, they just basically went dead till almost, in the third
Well,
period?
it wasn't just they went dead. I mean, just Canadians just took it to them. They were just forechecking, and they were just shooting from, they just went crazy. They had it bottled up. And then, of course, as soon as they tied it up there, as soon as the U.S. came back and tied it up there in the third, Harry Neal said the Canadians are, in a panic mode at this point, and they were. They were running around in their own end, and they just fell apart.
It was wonderful just watching the whole turnaround of events with the fans just going completely berserk, thinking they had it in hand, basically.
Yeah, but it was also wonderful seeing the level of intensity of the way these guys were playing. I mean, and again, it shows you the difference between hockey players and any other sport. These guys, there's no screwing around. The All-Star game, of course, is right in the middle of the NHL season. They're not going to go out there and get banged up and hurt for an exhibition game. But, I mean, the World Cup, they take it seriously. It's international competition.
The intensity was right up with the Stanley Cup game.
Right, I agree.
It was right up there. Can I get a request of, you have that song, Oh Canada? Oh, that one with the different words that have been spurted in? You know that one?
Yeah.
Can you play it for me, please?
Spurting it in?
Yeah.
We'll try to spurt it in for you,
Heavy
pal.
loads.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
See ya. We have an open line in Broward, 524-SPURT, 524-SQUIRT. So how's that movie White Squirt doing, by the way? I'm hanging on to that tape just to piss off Mitch. It's 11:22 at WIOD.
News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD.
I think it's hard to think, see?
Oh, Canada, you think that you're in luck.
Rectum.
You stole our all-star game, 'cause your own sports really suck. You got dog sled runs, you shoot moose with guns, what a way to entertain. And you fish for ice, you think hockey's nice, 'cause it's played without a brain. Ooh, Canada, oh, nausea. Give me my all-star game, I want it back now.
Oh!
'Cause baseball in Canada makes me a blow chow.
I want to give you a kiss.
11:27 at WIOD. Our hockey fanatic Phil out there has faxed me a whole bunch of stuff here, some real chazarai. And also the TV thing. So I guess Dave Strader didn't get fired by the Red Wings, although he didn't do the exhibition game. The Red Wings beat the Leafs 4-2 last night. And I'm going to tell you, they do have some of the exhibition games on, including tonight. I think the Rangers are playing the Devils tonight. And the Bruins are playing, I think it's Montreal. They're playing somebody. And their game was on NESN, too. The Bruins got beat by Pittsburgh 6-3. But, these early exhibition games, if you're desperate enough to watch that, your life must be, it's so boring. And they got all these punky kids playing with these high numbers, like 197, But anyway, I see here that it says, let's see, Jeff Reamer and Denise Potvin. It even has an E on the Denise. Nice going. Dave Strader and Mickey Redmond on the Red Wings. What was I looking for? Fred Cusick and Derek Sanderson are back on NESN, on SBK.
Oh!
That horrible Dale Arnold is still there on NESN, which we saw last night for about 2 minutes. But Fred Cusick comes back again. Thank God, man. They try to push him out. It's just like with the rest of us old folks. They try to push us out before we're ready to leave. Here's a mobile at Doral. Hello.
Hey, Neil.
Yes, sir.
One thing I've noticed about the hockey team and about the hockey game last night.
Yes, sir. Last night.
You got to stick it to them before they stick it to you.
Yeah.
And I was just wondering, you remember this old song by Korn the Gang, Get Down on It?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, if anybody ought to know, pal, we have an open line in Dade, 751-9463. I think it means
I want to give you a kiss.
And we have an open line in Broward, 524-9463, 524-WIOD. L.A. Kings, Bob Miller and Jim Fox. Boy, there's a guy, Bob Miller, one of the worst. Oh, terminal. Coma-inducing. Buffalo Sabres, Rick Jenneret and Jim Lorentz return. All right, they don't come too much better than Rick Jenneret, I'll tell you that right now. Or Fred Cusick. Or Bob Cole. Or, let's see, Pittsburgh Penguins. Mike Lang, Matt McConnell, and Paul Steigerwald. Oh, don't tell me this Matt McConnell guy is going to do some of the TV games. Oh, my God.
Boy!
What else have they got on here? Let's see. Rick Peckham is back in Tampa Bay, pretty mediocre at best. Oh, and then, of course, did I mention Jeff Rimmer? Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's no Bob Cole.
Called you in a long, long time. And
Why not?
I've been kind of busy. I've been listening to you every day, though.
Okay.
I've been running around town doing work. First things first, listen, I'm building a house, and right now, currently, I have a big satellite dish.
Yeah.
Now, I sold the house with a new satellite, with a big satellite dish. Now, I want your opinion on whether I should get a new big one or a small one. And the reason I'm asking you that is because they're in the process of building the house, and I want to have them run the wires inside the drywall, between the drywall and the block. And I don't want to do that later on, so
It all depends on what you want to see. Depends on what you want it
I
for.
want to see everything I can see right now. I got the football package, basketball, baseball, I got everything.
Yeah.
On the big dish. Now, on the little one, I'm not too familiar with it. And
Well, do you watch hockey?
Yes, I do, of course. I follow the Blackhawks. And I follow the, of course.
Well, you don't watch the Penguins then, right?
I watch.
Oh, gee, what the hell just happened there?
My radio, my company radio. I watch the
Well, you're not going to see the Penguins on the big dish, at least not the KBL telecast, and you're not going to see the Sabres on it. You're not going to see Empire on there anymore. They're digital.
So you got to go with the big dish to be able to see all that? Or the little one?
Let me ask you something. Am I not speaking English?
No, sir. I had a background noise of this damn radio.
Well, let me say it again. It depends on what you want. I still favor the big dish, and especially because December the 1st, the new General Instruments receiver is going to come out. It's going to cost about $1,000, and it's going to let you unscramble a lot of the digital stuff and the regular analog stuff that's in the clear, and you'll have a lot of great use to it. But if you were like, say, a Penguin fan or a Sabres fan, you'll never see that on the big dish again. It's all digital. But if you're don't care about that, I would stick with the big dish.
Got it.
Because I'll tell you another thing, you'll never see all the back calls, all the feeds, you'll never see that on the small dish, ever, never.
I figured that because I get a lot of back calls on the big dish. I love it. I love that.
And all the news feeds and all the other stuff, you'll never see any of that. You'll never see Dan Rather combing his hair or Tom Brokaw getting his makeup put on the small dish, only on the big dish.
Now, I've got the 10-footer. Can you get the same reception on the 8-footer, or do you can't?
No, don't get sucked into a smaller dish. 10-foot is what you want.
So stick with the 10-foot.
Stick with the big one.
And another question is it the same kind of cable as you use with the cable company, or is it a different cable on the system? You follow what I'm saying?
Not in the least.
Okay, the new house we're building, they're going to run all the cables for us inside the walls. It's all going to be nice and tucked in and not going to play on the wall. Now, can you use that same cable?
You got to talk to your satellite guy. I mean, that's when you start getting it. Is it 75 ohm? Yes, but am I the expert on? Yeah, but you got to talk to your satellite guy.
Right. Okay.
Because I'm not going to start. Huh?
I appreciate it.
Okay, pal. Good luck.
Take care. Have a good day.
And back to you. So I guess I'm not, like I said, there's no point in my bringing up the Dolphin games anymore. There's no point in it because nobody else who was there. I'm the only one. I'm just a grouse and a grumbler, and it was a great game, and we played sensational, and we won the game, and there's no problem getting out of that joint, and it was very comfortable, and it's a wonderful thing. It must just be me, okay? I'm getting grumpy and old. It's just me and Walter Matthau, grumpy old men, okay? It was dynamite. It was the best time of my life, I'll tell you that. I sure wish I was back there right now getting sunburn again. Hello?
Hi, Neil.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, man?
Okay.
I'm the satellite dish expert. I could tell you anything you want to know. That guy needs special cable.
No, but I don't want to know. I don't want to take like individual. You know how interesting this is to the general audience out there. That some guy calls up. It's like a doctor question. Nobody else out there cares what kind of cable this guy needs. He's got to talk to a satellite guy. Everybody wants to use this show for like personal advice.
Hey, I just wanted to tell George. He wanted to put me on, Neil.
Nice going, George.
I wasn't going to
relay all this crap, you miserable spick.
Yeah. I would have just passed the information on to George. But since I'm on anyway, Uncle Neil, I'd like to put my 2 cents in on the Phil Hendrie, Rick and Suds controversy.
What's the controversy?
Well, I guess everybody has their opinion.
I just want to tell you one thing, okay? And I really mean this, and I'm not... See, one thing with me, I don't come on and then do... What was that?
That was my dog.
I don't do shtick like Phil. We all do our own thing. We all have our own individual act. I don't do a bull crap, okay? And one
That's
thing
why you're the best.
Well, forget about who's the best. One thing I want to tell you right now, I'm not asking for any professional advice. I don't need anybody telling me that I'm scared to go out and to go to the... I'm not interested in that. To me, I said it on Friday, and I'll say it again today. It's inappropriate. It's disingenuous. Phil, talk about some other crap, okay? Get a show, but don't keep wasting your time about how Neil's too good for you. Neil ain't going anywhere, okay? And I see through this whole transparent thing. I'm not the least bit interested. And he keeps telling me, this one's going to call you. Nobody is going to call, okay?
Neil,
Don Buchwald ain't going to be calling me. Art Buchwald ain't going to be calling me. Howard Stern ain't going to be calling. And that's fine. I have no aspirations at this point, no respirations or perspirations to do anything more than what I'm going to do with the Paxton people if we expand and we syndicate through the state of Florida, even if it's a bunch of nose-picking places. I don't care. That's fine. I'm doing just fine right now.
And it's great for us.
I could understand if Phil Hendrie was going to L.A. to do morning drive and was going to make $1 million a year. Okay, then I could understand him starting to give me advice, like all of a sudden I'm a lemming. But in the meantime, I'm still making a hell of a lot more than anybody else in this market. I'm making a lot more than he's going to be making out there, and I don't need any professional advice, thank you, on or off the air.
It's just Phil's shtick anyway.
No, it's not shtick. I'm telling you that. It is not shtick.
It's to anger the audience, and he's getting through to you.
No.
He wants to make everybody angry, so they'll call up and say, Neil's not going anywhere. I'll never listen again if Neil goes anywhere.
But it didn't work. There were like 4 calls about it. No, nobody cares about that anymore. You can only go back to the well so many times, and it just doesn't fly anymore. I've made it very.
He's pissing you off, though.
I've made it, huh?
He's pissing you off.
Yes, he is.
Well, that's what he's trying to do. That's Phil's shtick.
But it's not shtick. You're missing the point. But
you
I'm
really think that Phil believes that you would be better off in another market somewhere?
I believe that he would like to see us all bail out here and see this station turn into a parking lot. I do believe that, yes.
Exactly, because he's got to go.
I believe that anybody who is not going to be involved with IOD after the 30th of September, I believe those people, for whatever their motivations, whatever reason, they would like to see this place turn into a toilet.
Well, God bless you, Neil. I'm glad you're not going anywhere.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm right here.
Go Dolphins.
In fact, I was in church with Bud yesterday. Have a great day, pal. Okay.
All right, have a good
day. We have an open line of Broward. We kicked their ass yesterday, baby. I can see it's the same old Dolphin crowd out there. I mean, you just don't want to fess up. We played a very marginal game yesterday against a very poor team, and yeah, we still won. We'll take the victory. We're 3-0, but please, I'm begging you, like I have in previous years, keep it in perspective. This is a team with still many deficiencies, and these people are, Super Bowl, and they're all on their way to the game. They got the flags going on the windows. They're letting themselves in for another big fall. I can just smell it again. Although you have a lot of good new food out there at the stadium, I'll say that. If we could just put the dome on there right now, Wayne, like before the next home game, we'll have the infield out of there. Baseball will be over with. We'll get that crap out of there. Now, if we can just get the dome on there and have it like nice and cool and temperature controlled, that would be nice. Thank you. 11:37 at WIOD.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio.
News, Talk, and Entertainment Radio.
610 WIOD.
Okay, 11:41 at WIOD. The consensus is in. We just took a scientific poll, and the Dolphins kicked some bloody ass yesterday. We're 3-0. We're going to the Super Bowl. All right, nice going, Jimmy. Let's go to... Now, let me ask you something. Why does he call on a regular line? Is that because he doesn't want to play big shot and call us on the...
Maybe he doesn't know how.
Isn't 4 hours enough?
You know, you're wrong.
About what?
About everything that you just said. And the only reason why I brought up...
I'm just so tired.
I know, but you're wrong,
Wait a minute, but
you're wrong.
Do you know how it wears you down?
Yeah, your paranoia is wearing you down.
Paranoia of what?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you feel the way you do.
I'm not the least bit paranoid of anything. If I were paranoid, I'd be worried about Paxton. Wait a minute. If I were paranoid, wouldn't I be terrified that Paxton was going to screw with the show?
Well, what would you like me to say?
I asked you a question.
You were.
I was what?
You were worried about that.
I was worried about it when I had people from inside the building coming and whispering in my ear that they're going to come to you and they're going to do this and they're going to do that. That was all part of the same game plan to try to get me to jump ship.
Okay. I'm not trying to get you to jump ship.
No, but wait a minute. But forget about you. Let's deal with that, okay?
Well,
let's deal with that first.
You were just talking about me. The only reason why I called
but wait a minute. Let's deal with that because you said I'm paranoid. Let's deal with that part of it first, okay?
All right, okay.
Now, you know that happened. I didn't make that up.
That people were giving you misinformation, yes.
Right, and that I went and I met with them, and after I had the first meeting with them and I spoke to Paxton, I haven't been the least bit concerned about it since then. Not once. Not once.
Okay. I brought it up initially to you because after the sale... particularly after the sale, but even before then, you had talked to me off the air about Cox and what a bad situation it was.
Right.
And I thought perhaps, and you know something, this stuff about you and I never having drinks, I don't desire a personal friendship with you. I'm just talking to you professionally, okay?
Except for the spatula thing, right.
Whatever. Okay, that guy was dead right. It was shtick on Friday. But anyway.
That part of it, yeah.
Yeah, okay. The fact is that I brought that up simply as a fellow professional because I do admire your talent to say, here's an option, okay? Now, I don't think, and I may be wrong, but I don't think every bloody day I'm wearing you down with talk about Don Buchwald or anybody else. I don't think, if I have, then I apologize. I bring it up when I hear you complain or when I hear, you know, and it looks like you guys are really, really unhappy. Okay.
Well, now, wait a minute. You guys?
You and Rick and Suds, but you in particular.
And everybody else who's going to stay here and be part of WIOD after you leave.
And that's great. And I don't want to see anything destabilized, okay? And you know something? I did that Friday because I knew that you were starting to get bugged, and so I said, hey, I think I'll do it a little bit more. Now I realize you're really bugged, and you're really buying this
the
stuff.
only thing that, because I knew you were going to do it, you told me you were going to do it. I had no problem with that. But when the guy called and said something about, Neil said yesterday that he's basically lazy and not highly motivated for the few bucks that he's making, and that's exactly what I had said. And you said, well, you know, lazy is really code for fear.
I know. And you know what I said?
Now, do you really think that I'm afraid to go to New York? I'm afraid to go to Chicago. I'm afraid to go to L.A. Is that why I sat there in the middle of 75,000 people yesterday while they were doing the invocation, sitting on my fat ass, flaunting it in their face that I'm an atheist and I'm not going to sit there and be made to participate in a religious act? If I'm the only one, do you think I'm afraid of it?
Of course not. And I said that in the misguided notion that I might be able to stick it to some of your fans and groupies and get them to call in. Obviously,
but they
didn't work.
They don't care anymore. I don't have any fans.
Well, no, you do. You just don't have any that listen to my show, which is something else. That you know.
How do you know
like
that?
On
you
Thursday.
See, now there's paranoia. When you were on here, when we did the thing
crossover.
on Thursday, you said we don't have any crossover.
That's right.
I think that's a bunch of bullcrap.
Well, I personally believe it. Okay.
We don't have any crossover.
I think we have a little, but I think Rick and Suds, you and me have three distinct audiences. You know. And that proved it beyond a shadow of a doubt to me on Friday. So, okay, cool.
Wait a minute. Let me ask you this. How about the day several months ago when you did the shtick that I was retiring to the dairy farm?
I think in that instance, even people that are not fans of your show would be shocked by news like that because
who were all the people calling the front office that day? Who were all the people that were calling Mabel that day?
The word of mouth got out. Channel 7 had called that day. I mean, I think word of mouth spread it around, and then there are all kinds of people, including your audience, that were calling.
I think you're dead wrong.
No, I think if you thought about that.
I think you would be amazed at how much crossover there is, especially between 10 and 6.
All right, well,
sorry, Rick. Now he's going to be calling.
For whatever reason, they had no opinion or didn't care then that I was saying what I was saying about your career, and so we gave up on it. So another stupid idea on my part. But to think that I'm trying to destabilize the radio station is just wrong, man. It's just flat out wrong, and that I have some kind of like Cox is pushing me with an ulterior motive to try to get you to quit is ridiculous. And I'm sorry to say, you're losing your mind.
Yeah. Well, at least I'm a step ahead of you. You already lost yours.
It's true. But I just want it to be, known that I'm not trying to screw with you or screw with anybody over there. And, it's fine, man.
I don't want to screw with you. Trust me.
Okay, fine. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. What do you got in your mouth?
Is that cool? What do I got in my mouth?
Yeah.
Too bad.
Exactly.
So
I knew it.
Whatever.
I knew it.
All right, so whatever. So that's the story, and, so I hope you aren't angry.
You're such a pussy, man. This guy comes in here at 2:00 on Friday with a lollipop in his mouth like Kojak, and a little less hair, man. You and Telly Savalas be a perfect match. Just get the hat and the overcoat.
It's getting bad.
And he comes in here. He says, "You're not pissed off at me, are you?"
That's right.
You're worse than Rimmer.
Well, no, it's just, if you're going to be pissed off at me,
let me ask you, no, seriously, talk about paranoid and disingenuous. Who has, since the day you came on in the afternoon, who has, waved your banner and promoted your show, and every time somebody called and said something about Hank Goldberg, I said, how could you possibly listen to the humper when this guy's on the air doing his shtick?
You have.
For 2.5 years, and I mean that. I'm not going to, what credibility would I have if I took that back now and said, well, Phil wasn't really that good. You're great. You're a great talent. I tell you that every day. But the point is, I'm staying. Rick is staying.
Yep.
Suds is staying. And and let me give you another part of why this is coming unraveled, okay? When the program director of this radio station, who evidently, as best as we can discern, is going to continue to be the program director, and he did it again yesterday from my spy reports, which I've had more than one. When the program director continues coming on the air selling this story that Phil Hendrie is such a great talent that Cox Enterprises wanted to keep him and retain him because he's such a great talent, a one in a lifetime, and as if to suggest that somehow the rest of us are chopped liver, and yet this man, you follow what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
He's not going with you to KFI.
Yeah.
If he were going with you to KFI, going to be the PD out there, I could say, hey, I can understand that. But since he's going to be here, it seems to me that what he's doing basically is making the rest of us look like a bunch of lemmings, which I don't think we are. And number two, he just puts himself in an untenable position position. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I don't know what the answer is. I don't know why, if it was that Paxson didn't want to deal with a lawsuit. I mean, I've heard all of these things. The Dolphins didn't want me to stay. I don't know why. I know what I've been told, and I know what I hear.
Yeah.
The only thing that I can think about, the only thing that seems, logical to me is that they feel maybe they made a mistake when they blew me out in Atlanta, and that I do come from Los Angeles, and it seemed like, hey, we'll give Phil a shot in L.A. because that's his hometown, and yeah, we like his talent. I sat with Bob Neal and Bob Green after that meeting, and these guys said to me, if you want to know and I think I told you this, I said, why me? Why not Neal? Why not Rick and Suds? I said, and I particularly mentioned your name. I said,
like Howard Beale said, why me?
Yeah, and they said, frankly, we don't think Neal would be happy in Los Angeles. Now, if that sounds like crap, it sounds like, but I mean, that's what they said. They said, we don't think that he'd want to leave here.
And yet they told me that the reason Paxson bought this radio station was because of Neil Rogers and the Miami Dolphins. Bob Neal told me that as we crossed the street after the same meeting you're talking about.
Well, that might have been a bit of information that they left out to spare my feelings. And maybe Paxson had said it.
No, I'm not asking. I'm not going to feather my own nest here. It may sound self-aggrandizing, but let me ask you something.
But you know what, Bob?
No, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you were buying this radio station, just forgetting about everything else, based on the revenue and based on the numbers over the last 8 years,
right?
Would you buy this radio station without me?
Of course not. Of course not.
Now, do you think that at any point anybody in this corporation ever came to me and said, hey, would you be willing to go to KFI? Would you ever consider going to L.A.? Would you consider going to any of our other markets? Nobody has ever discussed that with me. That was never an option.
Why would they do that, knowing that it would blow their deal up? I mean,
no, but again, disingenuous. I keep coming back to that word. When they tell you that they think I would be unhappy out there was never any option.
Okay. However, I don't think they'd even present that option to you if it was going to blow the deal up with Paxson.
That's my point.
Yeah, and so, probably if you were to say, they might even imagine.
I mean, what were they going to sell? Aaron Summers and Sports Talk?
It would be a bad deal. You're right. They wouldn't be able to do it. And Paxson, particularly with their interest in sports, they'd want you and they'd want the Dolphins. So yeah, they've got to hold on to you. So why even come to you and say, hey Neal, would you like to go to L.A., knowing that would just blow the deal out of the water? Better keep mum and just sell them what they want.
Mom, what else she got to do with this?
Yeah, which is another reason why you're staying.
No, yeah, right. I'm staying here because I want to be close to your mama, right? To a mother.
But, so why bring it up to you? Why mention it to you if you were, suppose you said, yeah, I'd love to go to L.A., well, goodbye Paxson, goodbye radio sale.
Yeah.
That's the end of the deal. Now, Phil Hendrie, hey, what they told me was, yeah, man, we want you in L.A., you're a great guy, and I believe that.
But let me ask you something. We got 9.5 days left for me, okay? 9.5 days.
Right,
for
me too.
Well, you got 10.
10, yeah.
But why can't we somehow get through the last 10 days? Well, what difference does it make? Like I've said before, we all wish you the best. I hope you get syndicated. I hope you do like an 80 share out there. I hope you make millions of dollars. We wish you nothing but the best. But the fact is, you're going out there, and we're staying here.
Right.
And I hope that Paxson, is a man of his word, because I've spoken to him a couple of times. He's also gone public in the media, which I don't think if you're going to screw with somebody, you're going to go on the record and keep saying over and over again something that you're going to renege on. You know what I'm saying?
Which he said that you knew what you were doing.
On the franchise, he has full confidence in me. There's one thing he doesn't want me to say other than that. The sky's the limit. Asshole, you name it, no problem at all. Do me your shtick. That's what I've been told.
Well, you know what? You're not going to like this then, because this began last Monday, a week ago Monday, today, when you came back from vacation and said that I was out of control and I was doing all of this stuff.
No, I didn't say anything. Wait a minute. I said that I had heard this, and I came on with Rick asking a simple question of what's going on while I was gone. I didn't say you were out of control. I said I had a phone call the other day from the fat man, and he tells me about the various tapes you've been playing and and then Rick, whatever evolved from there. History has unfolded.
Yeah,
right.
He unfolded. Yeah,
it's unraveled.
Yeah, and then the following Monday, I guess, which is after Rich's call, a lady calls, and a few callers said, "Well, yeah, I guess Phil Hendrie has given up," and I didn't hear you defending me.
The following Monday.
Well, that Monday, you came back after you talked to Rich. And the people were expressing the opinion, well, Phil's giving up and all of this ridiculous stuff, and I didn't hear you saying anything like, well, let me ask Phil first to find out what's going on, I'm not.
So in other words,
up.
because on that one phone, wow, this is incredible.
Well,
one
you spent
phone
3 hours.
call. But I haven't been here. I spent 3 hours ripping you.
You spent 3 hours saying, taking all these calls from people saying, yeah, he's given up. Yeah, I don't know, he's nuts and all of this. I didn't hear you contradicting them or anything.
Because I had no idea what transpired here during the week that I was gone.
Well, the point is that this began with you. This Phil's given up or whatever. This.
I came on here and I said Phil gave up. Phil's given up.
Your callers were saying that, and you weren't, disagreeing with them.
And let me say it again. I can't agree or disagree when I wasn't here to hear what went on.
Well.
And then
I came on
you
Monday.
came in and we discussed it, or you discussed it in the morning, okay?
Right.
And we discussed it again on Thursday.
And then I came on Monday and I did the Margaret bit, and she predicted that the backstabbing would begin.
Right, and she said that I was here to stab you in the back, and I wasn't a friend, and she said all of this other stuff,
right.
And you said it through other voices, and that was great.
And
just like I'm afraid to go to L.A., I'm scared, and I'm a coward, and I'm just a local talent here. I'm just parochial.
No, I don't believe that.
Just like the guy who said that, Steve Kane and Neil Rogers, they're just a local talent. Steve Kane's got like a 0.3 share, a 0.1 share on a 250-watt radio station, and I'm certainly in a league with Mr. Ego. There's no question. That's how I envision my 20 years in Miami, is like a step below Steve Kane.
Well, that's ridiculous, and everybody knows it. And, I didn't know it, but everybody knows it. I mean, and I just came on doing some stupid shtick, and that's all there is to it, man. The notion that I want to destabilize the radio station is so dead wrong, I can't begin to describe.
But why can't we, as of this moment, divest ourselves of these notions that anybody else is going anywhere? We're staying here for better or worse. You're going to L.A. for better or hopefully for better, and that's it.
That's fine. That's okay with me.
Is that okay?
Of course. I mean, like I said...
And I'm not getting any phone calls from Don Buchwald or any of these other people in New York. I'm not going to get any phone calls from them. I'm not going to go on here to be Howard's gay talk host or whatever kind of fantasy you were telling me, to be some fag to do Harvey Firestein on the air or Harvey Wireman or anybody else. I'm going to be here and do my thing, and I'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm sorry that somehow you're perceived that way. I don't think that's it, though.
I'm perceived what way?
Well, the fact that you're gay means you're doing something.
Let me ask you this. Do you think I care what Howard Stern thinks?
Of course not. But I thought perhaps... I do know that you have a national reputation in the industry, and I think that the guys in New York are aware of that and are serious about talking to you. They have their timetable. I don't know why they haven't called. Well, you know how it is, man. You know how these guys are.
Right. I'm telling you, I went home, just like you said. I went home, I sat by the phone from 3 o'clock Friday. I didn't really go to the Dolphin game. I sat under a heat lamp. That's why I got
this crap.
And I sat there. The phone never rang. It rang one time. It was some broad from the Canadian Lottery in Vancouver trying to sell me some goddamn lottery tickets. That was it. That's the only call I had. Then Rimmer called, and I pretended I wasn't home, and that was it.
Well, like I said, I know.
What did you say?
When I told you initially, when I brought your name up to David Katz, he said, "You mean to tell me that Neil Rogers has no agent?" He knew who you were. He knows your show, and he was shocked.
I have no agent, and you can tell him to talk to Bob Green and Cheryl Rifkin, a.k.a. Eva Brown, and he'll find out why I don't have an agent.
Okay.
Why I'm sitting here naked.
All right, but I mean, I know that you're known to those guys.
And George has given me, I got a break. Can you believe that?
It's the Rick and Suds show, man.
Oh, well, excuse me.
Yeah, we don't want to run over.
Okay.
All right, so that's the story, and...
So I'll see you, too, with the lollipop.
Good deal.
Okay.
Bye.
Killed some good time. 11:56 at WIOD.
News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD. So Billy and Bob want to be president. Frankly, we couldn't care less. WIOD, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. News, talk, and entertainment radio. 610 WIOD.